Hello, welcome back. So, this is part 2 of chapter 1, and in this part, we are going to build upon what we have already studied in part 1, and we are going to add some new information and read theories about human existence. So, let's dive right in. So, in this part, we are going to read about the story of human evolution, and even under this, we are going to read about the precursors of the modern human beings. So, you know that what we are right now, our physical structure, etc., this wasn't the case in the past. Like the early humans or our ancestors used to be very, very different from what we are right now. Our physical structure, the way our brain works, have completely changed based on the changing conditions in which we live in. So our ancestors used to be extremely different from what we are right now. Okay, so we are going to read about those ancestors, and we are going to follow up on how these people transformed into becoming what we are presently. Okay, now so first important point here is that the understanding that we have today of what we used to be is dependent upon the information that is at our disposal. Whatever information we have been able to gather, based on that we have come up on various theories that ancestors used to be this that. But as and when new information comes in, these theories keep on changing, our viewpoint of our ancestors keep on changing. So you have to understand that all these theories cannot be said to be 100% correct. They keep on changing based upon whatever information the historians get from different areas in the world. Okay, so the new data keeps coming in, and we keep modifying and revising the understanding that we have built upon this information. Next important point here is that around 36 million years ago, there used to be a category of mammals which was called primates. Now mammals, you know, mammals are those organisms or creatures who give birth to their younger ones, and these also feed them milk when they are born. So a category of these mammals is also called primates, and these primates emerged in Asia and Africa around 36 million years ago. And subsequently, 24 million years ago, MYA means million years ago, another subgroup was developed among the primates, which was called hominoids. So you should see that there is a Venn diagram that is given on this page. So inside the mammals there is a group called primates, and inside that primates group there is another subgroup of primates which is called hominoids, and this included apes as well. So primates used to include apes as well. And much later, about 5.6 million years ago, the hominoids transformed into hominids. So hominids are basically a transformed version or more developed version of hominoids. Okay, so you have to see that hominids are not similar to hominoids, but they are rather the successor of the hominoids. So what are the differences between hominoids and hominids? How are these two groups different? So hominoids used to have a smaller brain, that is, their brains were less developed as compared to hominids. So you know that human beings have become more intelligent with time. So hominoids were not much developed in terms of brain, while hominids became more developed and more advanced in their thinking processes. Next important difference between hominoids and hominids is that hominoids were quadrupeds. Quadrupeds means that people who use their four limbs to walk and move, while hominids became they had an upright posture, that is, they could stand on their 2 feet, and secondly they had bipedal locomotion, that is, they used to walk on their 2 feet. Apart from that, the third difference is the precision of using the hands. Now hominoids, they used four of their limbs to walk, so obviously their hands were more sturdy, more strong, so they were not very flexible. So they must not have used their hands for making of tools, etc. Their hands had a different makeup whatsoever. But the hominids, their hands were more flexible, they could have precision, they had the power to hold different things, and this is the reason why, since the hands became free from walking, they could use their hands for other purposes, especially making of tools, etc. And we know that having the ability to make tools made them more advanced, and they could use it for other purposes as well. Okay, now the next important point is that where was the origin of the hominids? Where have we found the earliest most fossils of hominids? So first important point here is that the origin is said to be from Africa, because there are two reasons for that. The first reason is that a group of African apes are most closely related to hominids. So the African apes that are available, the fossils are available, they are most closely related to the hominids. So we think that probably these African apes used to be the successors of the hominids, and that is why we think that Africa was the origin place of the hominids. And second important point why we believe that Africa was the origin place is because we have found the earliest most hominid fossils from Africa, and this belongs to a genus called Australopithecus. So in the first part also I said that the most ancient human that you can imagine is named as Australopithecus, and he belongs to Africa around 5.6 million years ago. Yes. So now let's start with hominids. So we know that hominids were successors, or you can say an advanced version of hominoids. Now hominids also belong to a family called Hominidae. So Hominidae is the largest group which includes all forms of human beings, the ancient ones also, the present ones also. The hominids is, it belongs to the family of Hominidae, and they had certain characteristics, as we have already done, that they used to have large brain size as compared to hominoids, which is evident that their brains have developed more as compared to the past. Secondly, they have an upright posture. That means that they used to stand on their 2 feet. There was bipedal locomotion, that is, they used to use only their limbs, the rear limbs, for walking. uh, uh, Fourth is that there was specialization of hand, that is, their hands could be flexed easily. There was a precision grip, there was a power grip, and they could use their hands for making tools and various other purposes. So these are the various characteristics of hominids. Now hominids in themselves can be subdivided into two branches. Okay, so you have to again focus on the fact that mammals is a larger group. Inside those mammals is another subgroup, which is primates. Inside that primates there is another subgroup, which is the hominoids, and these hominoids advanced and became another form, which is called hominids. And hominids in themselves can be divided into two parts, that is the two branches or two genuses. So the first type is the Australopithecus. So Australopithecus is compared to the other group, it is more in the past. So they were not as developed as the other branch that we are going to read. So the two branches are Australopithecus and Homo. So Australopithecus is comparatively older as compared to the Homo. So these Australopithecus and Homo itself used to have several species, that is, there were different characteristics inside or among these larger groups as well. Okay, so the major differences that existed between Australopithecus and Homo is related to their brain size, their jaws, their teeth. So the Australopithecus used to have a smaller brain as compared to Homo. That is, Homo used to have a much advanced brain, and their brains used to function at a more complicated levels. Secondly, the Australopithecus used to have heavier jaws, and they also used to have larger teeth as compared to Homo. Now this Australopithecus word in itself, it is again can be asked as a short answer, that it is made up of two words. So first word is the Latin word called austral, and it means southern, and the second word pithecus has been taken from a Greek word pithekos, which means ape. So it is called southern ape, dependent on the fact that Australopithecus have taken origin from Africa, which is considered to be the southern part of the world. So the name has been given to the earliest form of the humans, and they still have a lot of features of the apes. Apes means in the form of monkeys. They also have certain features related to the apes. So the hominoids were different from monkeys. Obviously, they were longer, they had a larger body, they did not have a tail, so they used to take longer period of infant development, and also there was dependency on the parents. So hominoids in itself became different from the monkeys, and Australopithecus, a part of hominids, it was again different from the apes, but still there were certain features common to the apes. Okay, so these features of apes which were retained by Australopithecus is a relatively smaller brain size as compared to Homo, which means that Australopithecus did not have a very much advanced brain or thinking processes. Next, they had a larger back teeth because they had to chew the meat, therefore their teeth were built accordingly. They did not have flexible hands, that because they you had to use their hands for walking purposes also sometimes, so upright walking was also limited, and they had to spend a lot of time on the trees, therefore their hands were less flexible and more sturdy and strong for that purpose. So, in order to live on trees, the characteristics that were retained were long forelimbs, that is, their hands were pretty long as that of monkeys. They used to have curved hands to hang on the trees, their foot bones and mobile ankle joints. So, all these helped them to live a life on the trees. But as times passed by and the human beings, or you can say the hominids started going on the land, walking on the land, there was bipedal locomotion, all these characteristics started changing, and over time, since tool making and long distance walking increased, many human like characteristics also developed among the hominids, and therefore Australopithecus was transformed into the next branch of the hominids, which is called Homo. So until now we have covered the fact that how the different versions of ancient humans transformed and changed themselves to becoming what we are presently. So in the next part we are going to read about the Homo version and their characteristics, apart from that about various different theories in the human evolution. So see you in the next part.